Hello, and welcome to another episode of the award-winning podcast On the Floor with Wayne and Rob. I'm Wayne Highlander with Bona Adhesives.
I'm Rob Johnson with the Bona Training.
How we doing, Rob? You're a bit of
Oh,
a
I just love the new intro. The award winning.
yeah, that's pretty slick.
The award winning.
Yes,
That's a
sir.
pretty cool looking award too. I hope
Yeah.
they send us a trophy or something. I would.
Oh, you didn't get yours?
Oh, of course you got
Oh,
yours. You
I
you
don't.
put it right next to Edner's head, probably.
Yeah, I don't think they've sent out two. It's awfully big. So
Are are you going to share it? I mean, is that how we're going to do it? Is like I get it for a few months and you get it for a few months,
yeah, I'll send it to you
or or are you
down the
just going to
road.
send me a screenshot every
That's
once in a while?
you know what, I could do that. I'll send you a screenshot.
Ah,
Yeah,
you're the
yeah.
man. I appreciate
Well,
that.
my family members now think it was just all about me. So I can't disappoint them now. And just like, when I was a little kid living in Colorado, I think I was in the first grade or so. There was a play that we're in. We were in a play. It was a cowboy play, right? And we had to dress up. Well, no, actually, we didn't have to dress up. But I told my mom we had to dress up, and that I was kind of the star of the play. And so she had to go out and buy me, the cowboy boots, the cowboy shirt, and then the cowboy tie and the cowboy hat, right?
Yeah.
Well, the problem is I wasn't really the star of the show. I was in the back. It was my contribution to the song was "Yip Yip Yippee Ki in the chorus in the background. And in order for mom to get me you don't remember green stamps. You two, you're old enough to remember the green
No,
stamps.
I remember green stamps big time.
Okay.
Yeah.
She had to cash in all her green stamps that she was saving to get a bathroom set. And God bless her, she cashed them in so I could have a cowboy outfit.
So you could
Uh,
have the cowboy outfit.
yeah,
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 isn't that what a
yeah,
great
yeah.
story about
Uh,
mom? Huh? That
I
is
f-
great.
yeah.
Now,
To this, to this, to this
did
day,
you
I
get
feel
green
guilty.
stamps for everything, or was it just gas?
No, all your food, everything that you
I
bought.
think everything was green
Yeah,
stamps at one
y-
point, wasn't it?
yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Good God, we're
Yeah,
old.
we're really showing our age talking about green stamps.
You know what?
There's gonna be a
Just
lot of people out there like, what the hell? To put it for you, you younger people
youngins.
out there, green stamps was like awards points programs, except they would actually give you stamps and you
I got a,
collected them. So it'd
I
be
got
like it was like a points program
a,
for you people who don't know what green stamps are.
I got a box of them around somewhere that I'm still mad that we didn't. They were like, there were a lot of them were, we had stamps on it. A lot of them. We could have cashed them in for something. I don't know what happened. But anyhow, all
You
right.
got to at the end of the show. You got to Google and see if
Uh,
anybody will take green stamps. There's
oh
got
my
to be
God.
somebody that
Well,
would do
you
that.
you could sell them now on. I'm sure you could sell them on eBay or whatever now because
Oh
it's a
hell yeah,
collector's
yeah.
item. All right. Biggest complaints that homeowners have having their floors refinished. Let's go with the top 15 that the biggest and some really good ways you can combat these, okay? And let's start with number one.
Can I let me hold you up a second here.
Yes, go ahead
Okay.
and hold me up.
Let me hold you up. You know how I love to throw the
Hmm.
monkey wrench in there. Um, I can't believe that this is the show we're doing because yesterday at the start of I'm doing a 3-day school, Bona Santa Finish School in Toronto, and during the opening, my opening monologue, um, we started talking about dust control and homeowners, and the conversation just started to get really great. And this was something that they were talking about whatever we're going to call it, complaints and but I think a lot of this has to do with expectations and also you're probably going to be something about dust containment and everything. And what one of the guys said, the guy's from England too. He's from England, lives in Canada now. And he was saying that he tries to really answer any questions that the homeowners might be thinking about during the the initial sale or the estimate or whatever. And I think
Okay.
this is going to help with a lot of that. I think this is going to be what homeowners are complaining or thinking about, and I think people are going to be able to get a lot of good information on what to cover during the estimates. And this is kind of a peek behind the curtain on what the homeowner's really thinking when
Well,
we're there.
yeah, and I'm glad you said that because actually we're going to talk about that, how to combat or answer those things or even the concerns even before they happen sometimes.
Right. Yeah,
Sometimes you
because
don't,
it's going to be on their mind.
and
Absolutely.
sometimes you don't flesh out what their biggest concern is, and that's a big mistake, right? Because
Yes.
really big mistake. You can, if you tune in or ask what their biggest concerns are, what are you getting your floors done, what are you the most concerned about? But we'll get into that. So, all right. So getting dust everywhere, number one, even with dustless in quote systems, homeowners report find dust and that that later on they find them in the HVAC systems, the cabinets and closets and electronics and what have you. Uh, something. I used to work out at the gym with this dude. I don't want to brag. It's not a humble brag, but actually, it was more his wife than him. I didn't work out with her. She was in the gym at the same time as I nice little lady, um, until I did her floors. I gave this guy such a bargain on the floors, and we plastic off everything about this in the old days before a lot of good dust containment systems. But we plastic off everything really well. We always did and everything. And I'll be damned if she just complained and complained and complained about the dust.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
I gave you an unbelievable deal, but even without that, we plastic off. We're very conscientious about it. That's all she talked about. Since then, better systems have come out, but even still, we spend a lot of time. But anyhow, so there you go. That's number one. All right.
And I don't think, I mean, one of the one of the best compliments we ever got or tests we used to, it was back in the old days, so there was no internet or anything. So we used to always try to get testimonials, and then we get a book of pictures, but also testimonials. And one of the best testimonials Pete and I ever got from a customer was Pete and Rob left the house cleaner. It was cleaner when they left than it was when they got there.
Yeah,
And I was like,
it's
man, that's a great, that's awesome and everything. But man, we busted our chops on this. This job came out great. And all this guy was, yapping about was how clean it was because, of course,
mhm.
he was expecting us to trash it, and
Well,
and I think everybody thinks like that. Oh, it's going to be dust everywhere, and you and I both know we can't. You can't put finish down in a dusty environment. So we used to have to go crazy cleaning everything.
well, it's I think it's a feeling of a loss of control that homeowners have. You know what I mean? Now, I can tell you right now, I can never live up to my wife's expectations of cleanliness. Uh, she 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 cleans the house thoroughly before the maid shows up. Okay. I mean, it's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. She's very, but God bless her, she doesn't bother me with it. I mean, well, wait a minute, that's a bad way to put it. um, I
No, that's
think,
perfect.
well, yeah, I mean, she knows she's this way or whatever, and she never, but what I think is clean, what she thinks is clean is two different things altogether. Look, I'm not a slob either, as far as that goes. But anyhow, so yeah, I get it, man. It's a big, big, big driver for people going, I don't know about getting my floors done. They're just scared to death of this. So putting their mind at ease from the get-go, and maybe even in your advertising, we can talk about all that. But I think it's a big deal. Number two.
I'm going to say something.
Mhm.
You're definitely not a slob.
Thank you, Rob.
You're not a slob. And I'll tell you why I know you're not a slob. I've been in your truck when you didn't expect I was going to be in your truck.
Mhm.
I think you can tell a lot. by a guy, how a guy keeps his truck.
Yeah. Thank you, Rob.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna
You,
well up.
yeah. No, don't. We don't have
Okay.
to get. I'll slap you later.
Okay. Thank you.
You're
All
welcome.
right. Number two, strong odor and chemical smell. I remember back in the old days with there was a wood filler called Goop On. It was a lacquer-based wood filler, and I would sometimes trowel the floor with wood filler, even if we were 10 steps ahead of using wood filler on the floor. Because as soon as we opened up that can and started spreading, them people were gone. Like if you got a clinger, a stage four clinger in the house that just watches your every move and you want to see what you're doing, blah, 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 you whipped out the goop on, add some more lacquer thinner to it, and they were out of that house. Okay. But uh, today's consumer, it's not just the smell at the time, it's the concern over the lingering smell, and what that does for health conscious homeowners, and families with pets and kids, and what that lingering smell is all about, and is that going to be an issue down the road for them?
Yeah.
So number two, strong odor is a big scary animal for a lot of consumers.
Can we go back to number one?
Yes, sir.
Let's go back to number one, the dust. And that is the number one on the complaint chart is
Hmm.
dust. Okay. And part of the conversation that I got into was we were talking about green guard gold and all this stuff. And I was talking about how we use so many things um, that we don't really talk about enough. And I
Hmm.
said, for instance, the green guard gold, whatever, certifications, certificates and everything. But then I also said about the vacuums. And I said, like, and we had a brand new 2.0 at the DCS 2.0 at the school. And I go, look at this vacuum here. I go, it's got dual HEPA filters. I go, so many people use this vacuum, but they really don't explain to the homeowner really what they're doing. And I said, and that's when the guy said, boy, that's a great idea because we're always trying to put them at ease. And I think a part of the sell and part of, why is this guy higher price than this guy? Well, also I was, company XYZ here, he was talking about his vacuum system with two HEPA filters on it. And I'll tell you where I saw this work one time. Years and years ago, Bum was doing a home show. And he said, hey, do you and Mom want to help with the home show? I said, yeah, no problem. And he goes, what do you think we should do? What should we put in the booth? And I
Hmm.
said, well, I still have some of my great grandfather's old floor tools. I said, why don't we put that on one side of the booth? And then on the other side of the booth, we'll put your brand new HEPA filter vac system and all that stuff. And then I said, put up a sign like 5 generations of quality. The tools have changed. Quality remains the same, something like that. And so the show's going, and this was years ago. So he comes over to me. He goes, well, we're screwed. He goes, a carpet guy over there just put up a sign, sand and finish, 3 coats, $1.75 a foot.
Hmm.
And I'm like, I go, how does that screw you? I go, it's March. I go, in June, that guy's going to be booked up till October at $1.75. I said, in June, you'll be booked up in October at $4 a foot. At the time, that's what he's probably charging.
Yeah.
I said, so, where do you want to live? You want to live at $1.75 or 4? I go, let him do him. No, not a big thing.
Yep.
So this husband and wife come walking over and says, the guy looks at me and he goes, how much a foot? And I go, well, it's really not my business. I go, the kid, it's my son's business. He's got to come out, take a look. I go, but you're anywhere from, ballpark $4 to $5 a foot. And the guy looks at me and he goes, are you crazy? He goes, the guy over there is $1.75 a foot. And I'm like, oh, okay. You mother, you, this is where you want to go with me? All right.
Easy, easy. Yep.
Yeah. Right. It just rubbed me the wrong way when he said that. Right.
Yeah.
And especially my kid was, thinking like, oh my God, I'm out of business. So I look at his wife and I said, does that guy have one of these? And I just, thumbed over to the brand new shiny vacuum sitting there. I go, does he have one of these? I said, because if he doesn't have one of these, you're going to be cleaning dust out of places in your house for the next 5 years that you never thought dust could get into. And that
Yep.
was it. And they left. So Bum comes over and he goes, hey, what's going on? I told him the whole story. And he's like, see, I told you, oh my God, I go, so what? I go, forget about it. Who comes back 3 hours later?
Santa Claus?
3 hours later, the same couple comes back, but now she's doing all the talking.
Hmm.
Do you think he come out? When can he come out and do an estimate? And, she's telling us the size of the house. And the whole time she's talking, I'm just eyeballing this dude. Like,
That's
yep,
right.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
coming home today. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to tell the kid to screw you right up against the wall. Okay.
Mhm.
I did not like your attitude about, that $175. And it was such an eye opener for my son to see that. I mean, you know, he saw that, holy crap, this is not just a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
This is a marketing piece. This is a way of life, right? And that has always been part of the sale now, is to really, really dive into the dust. Because it's funny that you sent me this article, and the number one thing, and I think a lot of us might have known it, number one thing is the dust.
So this is a massive poll with a massive amount of people that took place in the poll. So let's do this then, Rob. I was going to do this after. First of all, at the end, we'll give the don't you scroll all the way to the end. At the end of the podcast, we'll talk about a really strong position statement you can make on this when you're dealing with homeowners and consumers. Okay. So number one, yeah, the answer is addressing the dust right out of the right out of the go, right out of the get go, right out of the gate. You heard me.
I, we know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know
You
what you
just,
mean.
it's a much cleaner process that we do that eliminates the risk of getting. Now, I
I
don't
know
care.
it's tough for you to do this and talk to the bobblehead. You're
Yeah,
used to
true.
talking
Yeah.
to me. It's got to be
Yeah.
tough talking to a bobblehead. I
Yeah,
get it.
true. Yeah. Especially
Yeah.
someone so skinny. Um, so, I think that, and also I never, no, if I had the greatest dust collection system on planet Earth, I would never say it's dust free or it's dustless altogether. You know what I
Dust
mean?
containment system.
Yes. So
We
just
utilize dust containment systems. One of the best things Bona ever came out with was calling it the DCS, dust containment system. Definitely.
yeah, the reason I say that is we were in a filthy house one time, and we had dust containment at this point, and we did just a killer job in keeping everything dust free and everything, and I mean way cleaner than we left. And still, the lady in this house that was filthy, like went underneath the bottom of a drawer, it showed me dust. Says I had to be there for years and years. Like, come on, what are we doing here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just cover yourself because people are still people. Got 95% people are great and 5%, I was going to say it from Boston, but I won't. I won't because you know why? How about the World Cup, man? How about how awesome it is for all the foreigners that come to America and realize what a great country we live in. And
Unbelievable what is going on.
absolutely
I'll
just,
tell you what, I've never been a huge soccer guy, but man, I am all in. I've been watching the recaps at night. I'm loving what's going on in my birthplace of Boston
yeah,
with the
with the,
Scottish people just have fallen in love. I saw the Scottish, I think they call them some Scottish army or something that follows the team, and
yeah,
they had a parade going into Fenway Park. They're all wearing Red Sox jerseys and
yeah,
playing bagpipes, and it's
yeah,
like,
the
man,
best.
I tell you what, I had no idea how big the World Cup is. I mean, and up here in Toronto, we got a couple guys from England that are in the class, and we got a couple guys from Mexico and everything. So to I didn't realize what World Cup really meant, and this guy from England was telling me, he goes, there are people, he goes, when we say that, he goes, what's your favorite team? And I go, oh, the Boston Bruins. He goes, so you're a pretty big fan. I go, yeah. He goes, well, I'm not saying that you're not a big fan. He goes, but we support our team. Like, we're supporters of the team. Like, financially, a lot of these teams are supported by the fans.
Wow.
And just more than like buying tickets and everything. And he goes, and there's a lot of people that will save money for, years just to follow their team to wherever they're going in the World Cup.
Wow.
He goes, it's a holiday for us. And, this thing goes on for a long time, right? I was shocked how long this goes. And some of these supporters, they're here for the whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, until their team is out. So
this has been the most heartwarming, just best thing for America I can remember. It's been incredible, and for people to see the American culture, American people, and it has just been. And God bless the Japanese fans that came in and they took out plastic bags and cleaned up after themselves when it was over. How classy is that?
That's awesome. Yeah.
And I'm following this guy. He's a French guy. I'll spell his name Eros. Last name is Brousson. Eros Brosson, I guess. This dude, I've I have never in my life laughed at videos on Instagram like I have this. He's a French guy, um, and he's been in Texas. And just his describing it is, I have to send you some stuff, is absolutely,
Yeah, definitely send that to me.
it's
Yeah,
so hysterical. So
absolutely.
about what the Texas culture. So anyhow, we should get back to the show. But anyhow,
Well,
you,
I got to say one more thing.
mhm,
The Scottish people that have been going, they're playing. They call it Boston Stadium, but it's where the
yeah,
Patriots play in
yeah,
Foxborough,
yeah.
and the Patriot cheerleaders are doing their thing, okay? And they showed this Scottish guy watching the jumbotron of the Patriot cheerleaders out there, doing their thing. And I'll tell you, just Google it, right? The first time a Scottish guy sees cheerleaders or whatever, right? It
Mhm.
is hysterical. The look on his face. And then he's like, I can't believe that. Why don't we have this with our soccer team? Stuff like that. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, this
Awesome.
this has just been eye opening for me. I had no idea how big the World Cup is, but this is like,
Yeah.
50 Super Bowls, man. This is crazy.
Yes. Yes, exactly. All right. Okay. So good stuff. Strong odor and chemical smell, number two, right? Oil-based
Yeah.
finishes, the days of weeks of lingering smell and whatever. And like I said, family with pets, health conscious owners, what have you. So I was going to do this at the end, but let's just talk about each one of them as we go along. Then, uh, you got to sell the Green Guard Gold, man. If you know that number one is dust containment, and you can go with the HEPA filters on the Bona DCS vacuum system. Number two, the strong chemical smell and everything, the Green Guard Gold products. There's a whole line of products from start to finish you can use with Green Guard Gold. And remember, Green Guard and Green Guard Gold are two completely different things. I mean, it's like Green Guard on steroids in order to get that Green Guard Gold certificate. It is so hard to do. And listen, Bona is on, I think we're on 5 different continents. We're in probably millions of homes across the globe. And, we're in that's a lot of chance to affect indoor air quality in people's homes. It is probably and Bono's a family-owned business still. It's not some big corporation. It's a family-owned business. And to the family, this is probably one of their greatest things that they're most proud of is that the indoor air quality in people's homes and spaces that they live in. It's safe for children, schools, and hospitals. We've got literature that you can use for selling it, but I mean, if you know it's number two on the list, great, great thing to bring it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, this list is going to be eye opening. Like, I'm blown away that this is number two.
yeah,
And it was day 2 of the school today.
Okay.
And okay, so I water popped the panel that we are going to do the dry fast stain on, the oil-based stain. And then we did a chroma, and then we coated the other panel with clear seal. And then the last thing we did today was the oil-based stain. And everybody said the same thing. Like, wow, I didn't realize it had such an odor to it.
Mhm.
I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Because when you're working with the chroma and working with the sealers and everything, and then when you throw that oil base out, and it's funny because I think I forgot about, that there is some odor to the dry fast stain, but these guys are like, wow, you can really, and I was like, yeah, but to find out that this is number 2,
Hmm.
lean into this list.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, to your point there, so I used polyurethane for 30 years. I damn near drank it. I mean, I lived it, breathed it every day of my life, in my van, on jobs, like paint thinner, blah blah blah. But as you pointed out, I'm a corporate stooge now, so many times. And I've been away from it from a long time now, right?
Yeah.
And I was on a job site the other day when we just got done. It was the first day after it was coated. All right, coated the day before. I come in the day after. Holy mother of heaven, the smell, man. You know when you're doing it all the time, you know it smells. You know that, but the man, it was like shocking. Like, oh my gosh. So, it's a disruption to their lives and everything. And how long is it going to stay around? And if they got food in the pantry. So for you to say, listen, we have these Green Guard Gold products and everything, and you have solutions for this, right?
Uh, Tell me how many times did this happen to you?
Three.
No, no, no. It's going to be probably 3,000, right?
Okay.
How many times of all the years that you and I pulled poly, right? Tractor trailer loads of poly we pulled
Hmm.
over the years. You're putting down the poly, and the homeowner would stick their head in, and they could barely breathe,
Yeah.
coughing, choking,
Yeah. Hmm.
right? And I used to think, what the hell's wrong with us?
Sissies.
What, right?
Hmm.
Like Peter and I are just like, what the hell's wrong with these people?
Hmm.
And then you're thinking, well, I don't know. What's wrong with us? Why
Yeah.
don't we
Yeah.
smell this
Yeah.
anymore?
Right. Right.
Why does this have zero effect on us? Where
Yeah.
these people, their eyes are burning, they're coughing and gagging and choking, and like, oh my God, how can you people be? And I'm like, what is this guy's problem? You know?
Yeah. So this is especially concerning for people that have families with kids, pets, the health conscious homeowners. That's your sweet spot. Um, Man, I mean, I remember. I mean, here's when I learned that some people are really freaked out by this kind of stuff is COVID. When you have 20-year-old kids, healthy kids with masks on, you know what I mean? And don't talk to me without your mask type of deal, blah, blah, blah. You realize that, but it's a big deal. It's a big concern to people. It's number 2 on the list. Number
Number
3.
two, crazy.
Yep. Yep. Number 3, having to move out, the disruption, right? So, it's not just a project to them, it's actually disrupts their life. So, having no access to the floors and moving furniture and all that kind of stuff, it's a huge disruption to a family. To be able to say that with our Green Guard Gold water-based products, we can get you back on the floor much quicker. What used to be a 7-day project, 9-day project, will be done in like 4 to 5 days. I mean, obviously, think about your timelines there. I don't mean the rest of the timeline, but you can dramatically cut down the amount of disruption to their lives. So that's a selling point. That
Yeah.
if you
And
so what we're getting at here is just saying, we sand and finish your floors. We use this product and blah blah blah, and here's the cost. If you going over all their pain points and pointing out why you do, man, it keeps your margins up, right? You can
yeah,
demand better prices when people understand what they're getting, and a lot of times you don't know. It's like going to 2 different restaurants. If you don't know if one's any better than the other, well, you just go to whatever. But you know what I mean? So
yeah.
you got to talk about it.
I think too with this disruption, I think a lot of it is because a lot of these people have never gone through this before,
Hmm.
right? It's not like this is something that they have done all the time.
Yeah.
So I think the other thing, and I know we've talked about it, and we've even talked about with some of the guys that we've had on the show, is this is going to be a disruption. Um, this is, I think, a really good time to, during the estimate to go, hey, and I'm going to be via text, okay? Because I'd
Mhm.
like to text you an update at the end of every day. What happened and what's happening tomorrow, just to keep everybody in the loop.
Yeah.
Because, like, rather than thinking, well, they said 3 to 7 days or whatever, I wonder how things are going. And at least if they can look forward to here's my 6 o'clock update from my floor guy, and here's what happened today, and here's what's going to happen tomorrow. I think that is really going to help. What are you going to call it, disruption, or just really good, solid communication?
To your point, we had some guys, carpenter doing work in our house, right? And like he'd leave on a Friday, and I go, "Is he coming back Monday?" And she go, "I don't know. He didn't say anything." Well, I gotta be. I'm on the road. I mean, I can't be here, and you're not going to be here. It's after 10. I mean, so what's the deal? She goes, "I don't know. He didn't say anything, and last time he didn't show up till like Wednesday. I mean, the guy's doing good work, but you know, if when
A
I'm on the
little
road,
bit of communication would,
yeah, he's
even if he said to you, hey, be back on Wednesday,
perfect,
at
perfect.
least
He's way better looking than me, and I can't leave him alone in the house with my wife, so I have to at least be there.
how much better looking is he than you? What's his number?
Well, I'd say that I don't want to give the dude a number. I can't do that.
You can't give a guy a number?
No, I don't want to do that. I don't give anybody a number. He's
You
just,
couldn't give me a number.
I could give you a number.
You, I walked right into that one.
That's too
Yeah,
easy, Rob.
yeah.
All right. So there you go. Um, number four, project took longer than promised. We don't have to go too much into that, but like, it's your point. The scheduling and that type of stuff. Communication.
Communication.
Yeah, yeah. Number five, final color didn't match expectations. Okay. Not too much to say about this except for sample board. Hey, listen, I think guys are better today at doing samples than we were years ago. I've seen guys do now a creative way to do samples on the floors. It's almost like
Yeah.
a whole thing in itself.
Yes. Yeah. They're doing some beautiful designs out there
Yeah, it's
with
impressive to me.
sampling. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yep.
I'm I'm very impressed with some of the stuff guys are doing.
I'm
Um,
surprised that is even on the list, personally,
yeah,
and especially that's going to be top five. Hmm.
yeah. Well,
Might not. I might not agree with that.
it's an emotional decision because it's irreversible, right? I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of times, unless you add chroma to your finish, you and if yours is too light than what the expectations were, you still got it. You can add chroma to your finish and add some tint to the,
Tweaking that chroma.
and it's going to be much easier than using the old what we used in the old days, trans tint. All right, let's get to this one. And this one should be close to home for you. Visible imperfections after completion.
Visible imperfections.
Chatter marks, swirl patterns, uneven sanding, and lap lines. Your middle name. I paid for new floors, but they still look flawed, right? That's a bad one, man. Hey, listen, I, I was very, very good at sanding. I know I don't care what anybody says. I want to say that. But even with that unbelievably high skill level, the power drive, man, is taking the sanding to another level. Those we used to say, oh, you can't expect tabletop floors because when they make a table, there's like 30 different steps involved, and you would never be able to pay for all that. And it's now with the power drive and the technology and what have you, the chatter marks should be have gone the way of the bubonic plague. I've said before. Should be no reason for cheddar marks anymore. Should never be a reason for it.
Even if you have chatter marks, a multi-disc will take out chatter marks.
Well, that's what I'm saying. In the very,
Yeah,
you could have them, but you shouldn't
yeah,
have them in the end.
yeah, exactly.
And I'd
Right.
say the same for uneven sanding and lap lines and stuff like that. Right now, sanding really should come down to understanding sandpaper and sequencing, and the rest is, man, is it's solved,
Right.
solved,
Do you
right?
know what I used to say to homeowners? I mean,
Hmm.
back in the day, right?
I'll sue you if I don't get my check.
No, oh no, 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 no. You're gonna love this one. I used to tell people, look, in a doorway or under a radiator or something like that, you might feel a little roughness. Okay, this is site finished. I go, you might feel some rough areas or whatever. Okay, I don't. And I say, whatever you do, do not buff those areas. Don't buff them. Okay, they'll walk out.
Yeah,
Just give
yeah,
it time. They'll all walk out.
yeah,
Get a little
yeah,
traveling on the floor,
yeah.
and it'll be fine. But can you imagine saying to somebody, whatever you do, don't buff it? Like they got a 17-inch buffer out in the garage that you're going to throw a buffer on the floor, and
Yeah, yeah.
it's amazing how many people would look at me and nod their head like, "Oh, okay, I won't, I won't buff it." Yeah, don't.
It's pretty
Yeah,
funny. That's universal back in the day, man, because the line was always, oh, I know it's going to feel a little, it feels a little bit rough,
yeah,
but now you're going to walk that in, and it's
that's
not going to be
it.
it's not going to be as
Yeah,
smooth as a 30-year-old
we
finish.
got to get a little travel on this floor. Don't worry
Yeah,
about it.
yeah,
But
yeah.
whatever you do, don't buff it. It'll be like a skating rink. You won't be able to walk on this thing. And they,
Yes.
oh, okay, I won't. I won't. Yeah, good. Right.
Yeah, you're right. Like they're going to get a buffer to it. Yeah. All right, number 7, finish wears out too quickly. Use this to your advantage. Early scuffing and dullness and high traffic areas breaking down faster. And the common thought of I shouldn't have to redo this floor so soon. Um, yes, two components are more expensive than one components, but this could be part of your value um, proposition to them. And what was it, Zig Ziglar that said, um, you'll forget the cost of a crappy job will last forever. The pain will only happen one time or something to that effect.
Hmm.
Um, and if you add up the difference between what the finish is on a one component versus two component over say 5 or 10 years, you're talking about pennies a day, right? For
Yeah.
using a good quality finish that you can feel good about and sleep at night.
And this is a concern, right?
Mhm.
This is number 7. They're concerned. They have a complaint that the finish is going to wear out too quick. Well, now, I mean, now we're going to really take it to the next level on what we've been teaching at the schools and everything about building the lifetime customer. If you're talking to them about, okay, so here's how this is going to work, okay? If you do go with me and I do get the job, a year from the end of the job, I'm coming back and I'm going to deep clean your floors for free.
Mhm.
And then when you're in there, you're also making sure that they're using the right cleaning products, soft bottoms on all the furniture, walk-off mats everywhere. You're going to check, and you're actually going to be telling them like, this, we're a team now. This is our floor.
Yeah.
Okay. Because 8, 10, 12 years down the road, I'm going to have to come back in and give you a coat, a recoat. That's the business of the game. But the
Mhm.
better that you take care of this floor, the longer this is going to last. So I think if you have, now that we know that premature wear finish is a concern, this is one way to just take all that concern away. Like, wow, this is his floor too. He's got some skin in the game. I got some skin in the game. I'm going to take care of the floor. And if I do what he's saying, it sounds like this finish is going to last forever. So I
Yeah.
think because this is number 7 on the concern list, man, that this just goes right into that whole thing that we've been preaching for the past few years is how to build that lifetime customer.
You know something? So as much as I give you a hard time, I love you, and I'm sorry I said that. Well, we'll bleep that out. But this is really really good that you went down this road, and I'll tell you why.
He
First of all,
loves me. He loves me.
no,
He
no, I
said,
never
you
said
heard
that.
it. We're not
No.
cutting that out. You
Uh-uh.
heard he loves me. Yeah.
Okay, so the cost of the chemicals and by the way, which are green guard gold also, to do a deep cleaning on the floor are very inexpensive, very inexpensive. Okay, say it's 1,000 square feet. If you ask them to move the furniture back, put the rugs back, or, move the rugs back out of the way, blah blah blah. You can do 1,000 square feet in a. I can't believe it'll take you more than a couple hours. I really don't think it would take that long. So, for your investment, um, if you were to, I would do this is just say, listen, we'll do this, and if I'll make you a deal, we'll come back on the 1 year anniversary. We can do a deep cleaning of the floor. All we ask is that you leave us a great review on it helps our website out, and we help each other, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that would be and also while you're there, do they need new coasters for the furniture? Can you sell them another floor care kit? Um, and on you go. Great business. And set up a Friday to do them all, knock them out on a Friday if you can.
Sure.
So,
But
all right.
imagine, what I like to tell everybody in school is imagine doing this, okay? And imagine that you're doing this for a couple of years,
Hmm.
right? This is your new business model. And you do this for a few years. How many people are you going to be, I got a guy?
Hmm.
I mean, we
Yeah.
said this on the show 100 times, right? I got a guy. And if you're in there and, now I've gone in and let's say it's 3, 4 years away from the job and they see me once a year, we're on a first name basis. And she's going to be talking to friends, family, coworkers, whatever. And somebody goes, Jesus, I can have my floors done. Oh, really? Oh, man. Call my guy. Call Wayne. I got a guy.
Hmm.
This guy, my
Yeah.
floors never look better and they look perfect every year. I mean, think about that. That's just, I mean, amazing. I am
Yeah.
so shocked that this is number 7 on the list, but I guess I'm really not shocked. But
Yeah.
boy, oh boy, does this just lean into that building the customer for life deal. Now, if they're feeling that way, that,
Yeah.
yeah, hey, they really, they want this floor to succeed. Well,
Yep.
that takes that one off the table.
Yep. All right. Noise and mess during sanding, which is kind of like we talked about the dust, and also but the noise and everything like that. Constant disruption, the dust and debris during the process, and especially tough for people working from home. I'm going to include on this another one. I would include this about the bathroom situation. Let's get the elephant out in the open. Um, uh, some people don't like you using their restrooms, their bathrooms, what have you. Um, uh, so I'm going to say something, but I don't think I should.
Did I ever
Um,
tell you the first time I took Beaumont an estimate?
no. Oh, you're talking about yeah, I know you're talking about the,
The first time I thought, hey, he's learning the business. I'm going to take him out and show him how I do estimates. Okay. And we both got cleaned up and put on some nice clothes and literally knocked on the door, answer the door, shake hands, say, hey, thanks for coming. The first thing out of Bum's mouth was like, can I use your bathroom?
oh
I
my
think he was,
God.
maybe 11 or 12
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
time, right? And the
Mm-hmm.
first thing he says is like, can I use your bathroom?
Hmm.
And I was like, I'm like, I can't believe that. No way that he just said that, right? Then he's in the bathroom for a while.
Oh
Like,
no.
yeah, it wasn't just a quick one, right?
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
right, and every minute that he spends in the bathroom, the price is going down and down, and I'm like, oh my God. But he's just young, right? And I do
yeah.
remember like, maybe next time try to hold it or
Hmm.
go
Yeah,
ahead of time. I understand.
yeah, yeah.
I go, and he's looking at me like, "Oh, what's the big deal? I need to use the bathroom." And I was like, oh, but that was the very first time I took him on an estimate. That's what he said.
He didn't do a double decker, did he?
I I I didn't want to get too upset with him, so I didn't want to talk about it too much. Just
Yeah.
like
Okay.
gotta love that boy.
Yeah. Okay, good stuff. Okay, so as it relates to the noise of the loud sanding equipment and what have you, I think that you go back to saying that, what would be typically a 7 day process, now we can get it down in 5 days. You know what I mean? And just the expectations of, hey, there's just going to be and just let them know first, the machines are kind of noisy, but, our process allows us to complete the job a couple days earlier by the products that we use. So, although you don't want to think you're skipping steps either, right? So I would have to work that in there. We're very thorough on all the steps that we do, but be aware that the machines do, they're kind of loud. So
Yeah. Yeah,
all
I
right,
there's not too much we can do about that.
yeah,
And
uh,
I'd almost like to say, well, the machines aren't as loud as they used to be, but that would still blow you away when
yeah,
I don't know. Do you remember like the first canister vac you ever used?
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
those things were I had hearing loss from those things. I mean, they were unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, look at what's the ones you buy from like Home Depot? Those what are those vacuums that are
Shop
shop
vacs,
shop
yeah,
vacs?
canister, right?
Good
Yeah, the
God
shop
in
vacs.
heaven, those things are loud.
They were unbelievable. They were
It's like
louder than the edger.
louder than the airplanes. All right, I'm going to skip to number 15, and this is a biggie. Lingering health concerns, worries about VOC exposure, air quality, long-term safety, major, issues about this. Now, again, this isn't anything. This is a survey or whatever. It had nothing to do with me. I didn't say a damn thing about any of this. But this is our sweet spot, right? VOC exposure, air quality, long-term safety. So, man, this is for your takeaway, man, for your value statement for them is that, some of the things you can offer is the Green Guard Gold, right? Safe for children, schools, pets, and hospitals. Cleaner installations with minimal airborne dust contaminants. I like that word contaminants in there too. Faster return to service. Moisture protection built in. We can talk about adhesives. I didn't want to go down that road on this one. So I think that's shoot, man. I mean, we hit them all, Rob.
Yeah, yeah. This
Um,
is this is a really awesome list. We got to make this. This is almost gonna. I think this might be up there with your contract.
yeah. So here's what I wrote. Most homeowners don't realize finish comes with dust, odor, or do realize that dust, odor, long downtime, and unpredictable results. What we offer is a cleaner, faster, healthier alternative that performs long term, and that's why more homeowners are choosing this route. All right. What do you think about that one?
I like that.
That's kind of a nice power close, right?
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. This is really an amazing list. I think everybody should definitely
Well,
grab onto this list.
it's this is what they're concerned about. So if this is what they're concerned about, knowing that these are their pain points going in, man. So when
This is a cheat sheet. That's
yeah,
what this is. This is a
yeah,
cheat sheet. This is going to give you all the answers.
yeah. So I think
I
that
mean, use this when you're out there doing the estimates. And
yeah,
we know there's, people are. You remember how you and I probably used to do estimates? It's like, yep, here's the price. It's on the back of the card. Give me a call, right? Where
not really.
that's
Um,
how that's
Sorry, but look, but
yeah.
right off the bat, you're addressing. I'll say it again. Most homeowners don't realize or do realize that refinishing comes with dust, odor, long downtimes, and unpredictable results, and that's a big concern. What we offer is faster, healthier alternative that performs long term. That's why homeowners are choosing us or choosing this route. And then you would go into, well, you could break it down when it comes to the sanding process and the dust concern, we use this. when it talks about the concerns over the lingering VOCs and blah, blah, blah. We use Green Guard Gold products to combat that. And then there you go. So I don't know. I just thought it was kind of interesting because it comes right from the horse's mouth, so to speak, with the consumers.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, absolutely. This is awesome.
yes, sir. All
Great
right.
find. Where'd you find that?
Oh, actually, Judy showed it to me. So
Wow. Yeah, this is
yeah, I don't know where she got it. I'll have to ask her. Some magazine. Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate it, Rob.
all right. Another good one.
Yep. Got another good one coming up.
All right.
It's been another episode of On the Floor with Wayne and Rob. Please stay tuned for another episode.